Welcome, 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 welcome. So today we are talking about card number 31st, which is develop your intuition. And you can see she has some cornrow braids, there's extension, and there are a few leaf right next to her. And I will do a whole separate video on this, which is not really leaf. I just mentioned leaf, but those are actually African symbols. And so I will do a separate videos after I finish all the videos of the cards. I'll do a separate videos teaching and exploring a little bit more of the African symbolism in the card for those of you who want to deepen your usage of the card and your knowledge in that particular area. And she's wearing braids, and so am I. So I just got my hair done yesterday, and just a person of a change. And here this card number 31 is talking about develop your intuition. What does it have to do with hair? Well, as you've seen, I've mentioned in several other videos that how hair speak to us. Okay, so it's not because you have it in a protective style or you have it in any kind of form of way, or you had it tied up, that your hair all of a sudden stops pulling out information from your environment, from your surroundings, from the people next to you. I've said that before. Sometimes you can sense your hair move around your scalp. You can really, even if you meditate in the dark, you can even more sense it even more and be able to know exactly where it's moving, which part of your which part of your head is actually moving at that moment. And if you deepen that understanding of you, you may start realizing certain things, that your hair behaves a certain way when you're around certain people. Your hair can behave a certain way when you're feeling some kind of way too. So it's just a matter of you deepening that, and you can do that through developing your intuition or developing your sense of trusting your intuition and letting it expand. Okay. And this is not something that's given to everyone. Sometimes you can just, some people, you start talking about your hair is moving, it's telling you some things, and people just, go off the roof and thinking this is something that's too woo-woo for them. But you will see, if you experience this for yourself, just by being quiet, just by listening, just by having your natural hair just to flow. When my hair is in braids, for example, I still can sense when there's something happening when when you have, let's say, it's like an electrical current, if you like, but that's really, really subtle. Okay, and then of course it's easier to sense it when your hair is free, when you have an afro, or if your hair is just not tied. You can really sense it very much more if you take the time to develop that relationship with your hair. You develop a relationship with yourself, and you just let your intuition speak to you in all kind of way possible. Because that's just that. When your hair is pulling information, is sensing, is catching vibrations of things around you. There was a particular person, for example, that when I came next to this person, near to that person, and speaking to that person, every time this person was lying, not necessarily to me, I will have that little twitch within this back side of my head. I will have a little twitch that will just come on. And I started noticing that every time this person is talking, and then I started listening to what this person is saying, and I started paying more attention to the detail. What was it said here? What was it said there? And that's when I noticed the little pattern. And so it's just giving you information that you may want to use for your own self. Okay, this is not something that you need to go intervene or tell this person to stop what they're doing. This is really not about that. Everything that I'm telling you and the use of the card is first for you to learn how to know yourself, you to explore all the possibilities, all the infinite ways that you can be speaking to your own self, that your body may be speaking to you, that your hair may be speaking to you, and that you can use to communicate with the environment, to learn about the environment, and to learn about what more you don't know. Okay, it's a wonderful tool to just expand your horizon and understand that there's a lot of things that you don't know, and there's a lot of things there just left to explore. So I hope you take this time to just really start trusting your intuition. I know there's many different views on intuition, what it is, if it's related to us, if it's something that's completely from the divine, if it's your soul speaking to you. To me, it's all of that wrapped up together. And also, a lot of people will tell you, be careful with your intuition, don't trust your intuition, all those different things. From my own experience, my intuition has never failed me. My intuition, has never been wrong. Even sometimes I wish it was. But for me, I've never been misled. I've never been misunderstanding or anything like that. When I had that sense of like, I need to get out of here, I got out of there, and later on I will hear what happened. And later on I will find out like what happened like that. And I've never been having my intuition bring me or tell me something, and then I found out this was completely off, this was completely wrong. I've never had that experience. Now, if you are somebody who's having that type of experience, what I will say is that there's a very different thing between you hearing your intuition and fear speaking to you. And I think that's where you can start mailing, or your own projection or your ego and stuff like that. Because like I said, sometimes my intuition is telling me things that I disagree. It's telling me things that are a sensation or feeling or a sense of knowing an information that I shouldn't possibly know. And that is not based on my beliefs. You know, it could be something that has nothing to do with me. It could be something that's even contradictory to my belief. You know, when I could be saying like I can hold somebody and admire somebody, and my intuition is just telling me like, no, don't pick this person, don't hang out too much with this person today. Even though I want to spend out time with this person, I admire this person, I'm trusting their input or whatever. If my intuition is telling me no, don't, I will just back off and be like, don't, because of the experiences. And I've been, you know, I'm in my 30s, so it's been a long time that I've been learning to trust my intuition because it's never failed me. So I will advise you, if you are somebody who just, you know, you get this little hunch and you're not sure if you do it, then don't. Because that's the only way you will see, was your intuition correct or not. Don't just do whatever you want. And then you'll be able to check and say, was my intuition correct or was my intuition wrong? And also take the time to say, was I listening to fear? Were those fears within myself about doing something or not doing it? Was it something, some other projection that someone else put into me? Or fear, projection, ego? Was it just my ego putting in the way, boosting me or preventing me from going away in a way that it didn't want to? So those are questions that you can ask yourself. Of course, meditation is a useful, wonderful tool to use as well, because you can go just within, you can take the time to just be quiet and calm and see what is within you, what kind of thoughts are in there. That was also a great tool to assess, you know, who's talking to you, who things you've picked up. Meditation is like a moment to clean up. It's a moment that you go within and you just do an inventory of what's there, what shouldn't be there, what needs to be thrown out, what needs to be emphasized, what needs to be magnified, what needs to be, you know, disregarded or discarded and replaced. So, and intuition, so if you use meditation to clean up, then your intuition, your voice of intuition is going to become a lot clearer. And also you have to pair that with making changes within your own life in terms of like, you know, holding on to your values, holding on to your core. You know, if you don't have values, or if you're switching your values every day all the time, it's going to be harder for you to focus and to have one clear voice, because you're going to be like, one day is this, one day is that. For some people it does work out, but for most people it's not, because you're not going to feel grounded. You may even end up doubting yourself all the time. So it's easier to choose a few values, focus on those, see if they work for you. If they don't work for you, replace them with other values, and so forth and so on, rather than trying to pull different values from all kind of places, from all kind of different systems, and trying to mesh them together without really understanding how each of them, what each of them represent, how you interpret them, and how they're showing up for you in your own life. So this card about intuition is really just that, an invitation for you to go within. Again, a lot of this process with the card is a talk between you and yourself, to go within. It's not really a talk for you to go out there and to see what's out there. It's more for you to reflect on your own self, to commune with your own self, to learn to trust and love yourself, because the more you trust your intuition and the more you see that your intuition is correct, and the more you're going to love that part of you, that ability that you may have to foresee certain things, to have that inner guide guide, that inner compass that can pull you towards the things you want, towards the things sometimes you need in order to grow, and that can champion you in just being open to trust and being open to changes. So I hope you take on that. I hope you do start listening to your own intuition. Stop listening to other people and start listening to your own intuition. Develop that sense of self. Develop the fact that you can actually listen to it, know where it's going, and improve on that. If you've been hesitant in the past, follow it and follow through. See if it's working, see if it's not. See if it's correct, see if it's not, and try to identify whether it's really your intuition speaking to you or something else. So I hope this was useful, and of course, if you would like your copy of the deck of the Wisdom of Natural Hair, you will find it all in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.